Welcome to Dear Warriors. My name is Amy Vega, and I am your host. I have worked in the plasma industry for over 20 years. Throughout my career, I was blessed to have worked with the most incredible employees and met the most amazing donors and recipients of plasma. This podcast was started to bring to light what had been in the shadows, the rare disease community. Join me on Dear Warriors, where we will share stories of warriors and so much more. Welcome to Dear Warriors. My name is Amy and I am your host. Today I wanted to talk to you about the plasma donor. Most people do not know or understand the important role a plasma donor has in the rare disease community. People who donate plasma are needed because lives depend on it. Plasma is used to make life-saving medicine. In the industry, we often call plasma donations the gift of life. For the rare disease community, medications made from plasma is the only way they can treat themselves. Even though there's a compensation in the plasma industry for the donors, I wanted to take a moment and explain what a donor has to go through prior to donating. A donor is required to bring in proper ID and proof of address. They also have to go through a screening and health history assessment. Yes, you must be healthy to donate and maintain a healthy diet. A healthy diet allows for a better donation experience. Once you have passed all the regulated requirements, you are then allowed to go to the donor floor and donate. Therefore, that stigma that plasma centers take anyone to donate is not true. The industry is highly regulated and takes pride in donor safety and product quality. Welcome to the show, Ms. Sean and Allie. I am so glad that you're here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
Allie, are you still with us?
Oh yes. Hi. I was letting her have the golden approval, the golden introduction, because I'm so excited to have Sean on tonight. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh no, you are very welcome. As I said, it's my pleasure. When Amy asked for my assistance, I was more than willing to help. Very happy to be able to help.
This is an exciting moment. Sean, we have been in the industry for a long time, and Allie is a recipient, and so I consider her in the industry because she's been receiving life-saving plasma, and I have been in the industry working plasma centers actually, and helping to recruit and bring plasma to people like Allie and many more people out there that need this life-saving plasma. So we are so honored to have you. Can we ask you how long you've been donating?
Sure. It's been about 2 years on and off. I started off. Am I allowed to name where I was? Where I was? I won't name.
Yeah, I'd rather you not.
I won't. Okay. I started donating when I moved to Florida. A friend had mentioned to me about donating plasma, and I said I had heard of it but never really inquired about it. And I went, and I was pleasantly surprised. It doesn't hurt. It's not. It's just, in my mind, I feel it's just like donating blood. I'm not weary of needles or anything like that. So to me, it's a win-win situation. I'm assisting others by donating the plasma, and I'm also receiving a financial reward. And to me, I treat it as almost like a part-time job. That's how I treat it. because I feel it's that important to assist. So it's a win-win. I'm receiving something and I'm also giving something.
No, that's amazing. I bet you Allie's all smiles right about now. I can't see her, but I can guarantee she's smiling. Um, so I kind of want to bring Allie on to the conversation because I think it is important to know where she comes from and how you are so important to her. Allie, you want to give us a little briefing on your background?
Yes, okay. So I don't even know where to start. I will cut into the middle, so to speak. I was diagnosed with primary probably back around 2012. And as soon as we got that diagnosis, we later figured out that I was born with the primary immune deficiency, which would explain why it seemed as if everything was a little bit harder for me. It seemed like my vessel was a ship that had holes in it. So no matter how hard I tried to keep afloat, I would always sink. And if I would look at other people and they would have no problem, I would wonder why. And then when we got that piece of the puzzle figured out, it became very clear. Oh, she has a compromised vessel. So there's a reason that despite my hard efforts, I always seemed to sink. So once we figured that out, so once we figured out that enormous missing piece of the puzzle, I qualified to receive the immunoglobulin therapy, and that was back in 2013. And once I started receiving that therapy, my whole life took a complete 180. I realized that a 360 is basically going back to where you were. So I guess my life took a 180, and it was as if somebody had given me a new life. I was bedridden before I started the immunoglobulin therapy, and after I started it, I was in less pain. I had more energy. I was able to hold a relationship. I am now able to hold a full-time job.
That's great.
I mean, I feel like a person. And I can't even, the idea of going back to the way that my life was before I started receiving this therapy, I don't even want to go there. It's changed my life in so many ways. For example, I just had my treatment this last weekend, and the very next day, my mom looked at me, and just looking at me, she said, "Oh yeah, you look so much better today. I can just tell that your overall inflammation is better after getting your infusion." Because usually by the time I get to the date of my next infusion, my body is crying out for it because I get it every 3 weeks. And my body tends to dip that last week. So I guess my body has already kind of run out of whatever they pumped into me. So those last few days, my body starts to deteriorate again. And it's like, oh, I need my liquid gold. And I'm happy right now, and I'm expressing joy seeing you, but I had the opportunity to visit a plasma center, or Amy can correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe it's not a plasma center. Maybe I'm not going deep enough. I went to a laboratory where they make.
Okay. Yeah, yes, a fractionation site. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Amy. I couldn't recall the technical term for that. So I had the opportunity to visit one of those sites out in London, Sean, and I got fully suited up from head to toe. I had the mask, the goggles, the bodysuit, booties for my feet, the whole 9 yards. And I remember when we got fully suited, we had to lift our legs up and scoot over the edge of the bench that we were sitting on and then place our feet on the clean side. It was very methodical, very clean, very safe. I felt like a scientist that day, and I got to see the medicine being made. And at the end of the day, I got to speak to a group of 200 employees at the site. I sobbed, and I had the opportunity to make eye contact with people who every day spend hours standing in a lab creating this liquid gold with no idea of who gets it and how their lives are impacted. And when I had a chance to see those people, I said, I will forever be grateful to you. And to me, you're an angel in my eyes, and you may not know it. And every day you come home from work exhausted, you put a full day's work in, and you're just fried. And you think that your work has maybe little to no impact, but you couldn't be more wrong. You are changing people's lives. You are giving people their lives back. And you will always have a halo above your head as long as I live. So.
Oh, that makes me feel so nice to even know. I mean, I get a sense of joy being able to do this, and to know that I wish I could see your face, but in speaking to you, that just makes me know that I'm doing the right thing. By hearing your voice and hearing your story, that gives me confirmation that I'm doing the right thing. I actually got my husband is also donating as well, because he saw me and he said, wow, you really seem to, you get a sense of purpose from doing this. So now he's doing it as well.
Oh, well, so there's two angels in your house. And like I said, you have elevated my quality of life to the closest thing I've ever known to normalcy. I don't know what normalcy looks like. I've never had it. I've struggled with my health since I was in second grade, but here I am all these years later, and for the first time in my entire existence, I am not in pain 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I am not in bed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm not crying 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm not hiding from the world 24 hours a day,
That's
7
awesome.
days a week.
Awesome.
So I hope you know that there are others like me out there who are living out your angel-like duties in real life every day. And every day I wake up and I think, I wish I could just hug and kiss a donor who has given me my life back. So I want you to hear me loud and clear when I say you are a gem, and your husband is a gem too. And I don't think I can properly find the words to thank you for completing the life-saving measure that you're completing, and you don't even realize it.
Oh, you do not have to thank me. I mean, it's nice to hear, and I appreciate it. I wish I could see your face, but I tell you, when I tell you that it is my pleasure, it is my pleasure, my absolute pleasure to know I know that I'm helping people. That's the reason that I started doing this in the first place. But to actually speak to you, to speak to somebody that I know is receiving something that I am a part of, it's very, very fulfilling for me to hear your story.
Oh my God, you guys have me all choked up. I got the tissues out. Oh, I can't. I'm choked up. This is amazing. This always chokes me up because that connection is so hard to make. A lot of people donate, and they donate for whatever reasons. And some do it for extra money. Some do it for both. Some do it for a family member, a burn victim, somebody in their families. There's somebody out there needs something, and people donate. But to make that connection with a donor and a recipient is the most powerful connection you can have, because donors don't get enough credit. And recipients don't get to have that opportunity to meet donors. It's very far-fetched,
True.
So a lot of companies allow people to come visit the centers that are, I guess, if their advocacy or their program allows it. But and so Allie got to speak in London and made an impact on all those employees, and she sobbed. And I remember her telling me this story, and I was just, moved by it. And that happened to me too. I was managing a center, and I had no idea. I had no idea that I was the impact I was making until somebody actually introduced me to somebody that was receiving plasma. And the craziness, and I was telling Allie this a while back, is I went into the fractionation. I saw the barcode, and it was the barcode from my center. At the time, I was in Clarksville, Tennessee. And then the same barcode, which I knew it was from my center, was hung on this IV pole, and this person was receiving this medicine, and it was from me. It was from my center.
Oh, wow.
That connection it just changed my life. I started managing the center differently. I started seeing my purpose, and all my employees. Like, I went in like a beast after that. Like, I was like, very strict, because, they're making medicine. It's just until you make that connection. And I hope that you will return to our show when we start video, because I would love for you and Allie to actually meet. But when you make that connection, that's a bond that you cannot forget. And I remember that person looking up to me and saying thank you. And I came back to the United States because I was in Spain at the time. I came back a different person. I came back a different manager, and I came back a different human being, because a lot of people out there do not know that we have a rare disease community. With that, there are people that live off of all types of plasma. It's not just, Allie's is different. She gets a different type of medication and protocol. We have other people that need plasma for so many other things. So it's such an important investment that you're doing. And now your investment has a life behind it. So when you go donate next week, or whenever you go donate, you'll remember Allie saying, "You're my angel."
It's so true, because I'm going when do I go again? I go 2 times a week. I go 2 times a week religiously. Like I said, I treat it like a part-time job. That's how I treat it. That's how I think of it when I go.
Now that I've re-centered your focus on your own value, just remember, when you go to do it next time, say, that's right. I am a goddess. I am an angel, and I am saving lives. And right now, people like Allie are smiling at a job, or smiling in a relationship, or smiling without pain, or smiling being able to eat something that they couldn't eat their entire lives because their inflammatory response was too high. They're doing all of those things because of you. And like Amy said, when I had the opportunity to speak in London, I don't know if I undersold this or not, but I sobbed when I got to speak to the employees of the center. I sobbed that whole week, actually. It was very cathartic. But when I got back, I was a totally different person. When I got back, I felt more empowered than I had ever felt in my entire life. I felt capable of doing anything that I put my mind to. I felt ready to take a leap, because with my age at the time, I was about to lose my parents' health insurance, which would mean I would lose my liquid gold, life-saving, angel-producing medicine, and I needed to get a job. But my whole life, I had always been worried I would be too sick to work. That was kind of some of my closest family members. I don't know that we ever really came out and said it, but it was, the elephant in the room. And after I got back from London and meeting those other angel workers and seeing how the liquid gold is made, I thought, okay, I can do this. I can do this. As long as I have access to that liquid gold, I can do it. And I got back from London. I applied for jobs every day for a month, and I got a government job that I have now, and I've had it for 3 years. And if it wasn't for the opportunity that I had in London, I can't say that I would have this job and the security that I have, which gives me now full access to my liquid gold. So the whole thing was kind of a spiritual roller coaster, but I can't stress it enough. Your significance in my quality of life, again, I will say it again, your significance in the elevation of my quality of life cannot be described with words. Someday I will have to hug you so you can feel my energy and I can properly thank you for saving my life.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
stop it. You're going to make me cry.
Oh, I can't. We are crying here.
Again, it is my ultimate pleasure. I'm very happy that I'm able to help.
I'm speaking on
It's the
behalf
least I
of,
can do.
there are many others out there like me who, if they had headphones and a mic right now, they would be saying the same thing. So just take my message and multiply it by however many billions of other invisible illness warriors out there who are benefiting from your life-saving actions. So thank you from all of us.
You're very welcome. You're most welcome.
So now you get to tell your husband, you know what? I'm a hero.
That's right.
I don't think of myself as that, but thank you.
Oh my goodness. Is there any questions? You guys want to just exchange some questions?
You first, Sean.
So you've been receiving plasma for how long now?
Since 2013. So almost 8 years.
7 years?
Yeah.
Almost 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
God bless you. That's all I could say. God bless you.
Thank you. My heart
That's amazing.
Is all warm and fuzzy right now.
So
you've been donating for on and off.
I've been donating on and off for 2 years. I don't have a lot to give as far as in this world, I just turned 50 years old. I don't have any children. I unfortunately was infertile, had a lot of female issues and wasn't able to have kids. So it's just myself and my husband and our dog, who's like our child. All that I can give is love and my willingness to try to help people. I've always been good at that, and that's why donating the plasma is so fulfilling to me, because I know that I'm assisting people. And speaking to you, Allie, that just, like I said, that just gives me confirmation to know that I'm doing the right thing. Because I don't tell everybody that I do this. It's not because sometimes, depending on who I speak to, some people tend to judge me.
Oh God, yes, absolutely.
I don't say it to everybody, and I don't understand why people think that it's a bad thing. I think you know why? I shouldn't say that. People feel that way because they don't know what it is. They just hear, they just hear, are you hurting yourself, or does it affect your health, or, and I said, first of all, if it was affecting my health, I wouldn't do it. And then I explained to people the screening process and what happens. They don't just let you do it for nothing. You're screened and you're properly screened. If you weren't able to do it, then they wouldn't let you do it. But I feel sometimes like I have to defend myself when I explain to people that I'm doing this. So that I sometimes, depending on my mood, I don't tell everybody that.
I'm so glad you said that, because on my end, there is a lot of donors do get the backlash. A lot of people have and I think that's why this show is so important. A lot of people have this thought process,
stigma.
That donating, the stigma, great. A stigma that, plasma centers they have a bad name. Plasma centers are for, just bad people, or people that just are looking for money, and they don't realize, I think, and this show is so important, because I feel like this is the perfect platform to put it out there And we've always done this in the industry. The industry has done a really good job to try to change the stigma of plasma centers. And it's come a long way, because I started in the industry in 1998, where it was really bad. The plasma centers were not taken care of, and it was just smaller. It was a smaller industry, and little by little, these companies have come up and made plasma centers beautiful, and they have made they've even are so strict on so many things, just to take that stigma away. And I think we've done a pretty good job, but I really feel like your words really hit, because when you say I'm a plasma donor versus, hey, I donated blood, everybody sees that, hey, I donated blood as, a Red Cross hero, or, I'm not really saying just Red Cross, but just blood in general. And, donors, a plasma donor will be looked upon like, oh, you're just doing it for the money. And it's so sad to me, because you don't realize, and I'm so glad you said it, because it is important to share that knowledge and share that it is not a bad place. Plasma centers are a wonderful place, and they've come a long way, and you're saving a life. And, we have such we're just so strict. We just don't allow anybody to donate. You have to go through a screening process.
Right.
You have to go through you can't be homeless. You have to have an ID. There's a lot that goes into plasma.
It's true.
Donating plasma.
It's very true.
And not a lot of people know that. And I think this is the perfect platform to say it. We'll say it in every episode if we have to. It is a very highly regulated industry, and a lot of people just don't realize how it's not like you roll up on a bus, you jump on a bus and you donate. It's not like that. You literally have to bring proof of everything. And then you go through a health screening, and that's, a professional medical person does a health screening, and then you do a vital screening, because you can pass the health screening. But if your vitals don't pass, guess what? You're not going to go back there, and you're not going to donate, because
that is so true. And it happens to me. There are some days my iron tends to be low sometimes.
Oh,
yeah.
There are some days where I get turned away because my iron is too low, even though I do take iron supplements. But there are some days where it happens to me, it happens to my hubby. Some days we cannot do it, and we come back the next day, or we wait a couple of days and we go back.
Absolutely. And we won't put a donor at risk. The industry won't put a donor at risk, and we won't put a product at risk. That is something that I'm very proud of. It's product quality, it's patient quality. We are very strict in making sure that our donors stay healthy, and that our plasma stays healthy. Healthy donors, healthy plasma, healthy recipient. That's exactly what we do. And, and as a manager, we used to get, when I worked in the center, I used to get a lot of people were upset. They would get upset, like, oh, I got deferred, and I was really looking forward to donating, for whatever reasons. And I'm like, I'm sorry, we just can't bend the rules. And that's how it is. We are very strict. And I'm so glad that you brought that up. Thank you so much for that.
Very welcome.
Yeah, that was a great point, because on the opposite end of it, I feel the same way, Sean. It's a very sacred, personal, intimate thing that is part of who I am, and it keeps me on 2 feet every day, but it's very private. So I'm very careful with who I share that with outside of my personal life, because it's kind of a big deal. A nurse comes to my house, and my best friend is my nurse. Not many people in my age group can relate to that. So in an effort to avoid unwanted judgment, I am careful with who I choose to share that information with, because it's sacred stuff. And as someone who needs it to live, I'd rather not have someone place negative judgment on it.
Right. Well, I would think that now, especially with everything going on with COVID, that I know you hear now more in the media about trying to get people to donate because of what's going on with COVID. I would think that more people would want to, but I find it's the opposite in some ways. It seems that people are afraid to go into the centers because of everything that's going on. Even though the place that I go is very safe, very clean. They don't break any rules. Everybody has to wear a mask. Everything is very clean as far as staying sanitized and us staying sanitized. But you would think that more people would want to get involved with COVID. I tried, telling some of my friends, some of my coworkers, and I'm like, look, this is a good thing, especially with what's going on now. You could be saving a life, and people just don't want to do it. They're afraid.
Well, may I ask, how do you feel after you donate, Sean? Do you feel like you've been hit by a Mack truck and you're exhausted and run down?
It depends on the day.
Okay.
It depends. Honestly, it depends on the day. There are some times most times no. Most times I'm honestly okay. There are some days where I feel a little run down or sleepy,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not often. That's every once in a blue moon that happens to me. Not often.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious because I guess it's the same for me. I've talked to Amy about this, but it seems like every infusion is a little bit different for me. Some infusions I do great. Some infusions I have side effects. Sometimes it depends on the infusion rate. Sometimes it probably depends on my hydration. I mean, the last infusion that I had, my nurse felt awful. She had to try and get the IV, and it took her four attempts. And she was so frustrated by it. And she said, your body is not in a good place today. I think you waited too long. I went 6 weeks without it instead of 3. And she said that extra gap, my body just took a serious dip, and she was having a very hard time getting a vein. But
oh wow.
Yeah, and so I guess to echo what you said, it for me, not necessarily for the same reasons as you, Sean, but it's different every time. And sometimes if I take a Benadryl, I sleep during the whole thing. And sometimes I'm groggy the next day. Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm more swollen because it's a lot of fluid, and I have problems with my circulation and fluid retention. Other times it's fine. My edema doesn't seem to go up. I don't know. And I told Amy, it seems like I have different batches, but given the high level of oversight, if that's the right word, and regulation of these products, it seems more likely that it just depends on the condition of my vessel that day, not necessarily the quality of the batch. It's probably just how my body's doing that day.
Right.
Yeah, that's that. Are you getting saline when you finish, Sean, or are they not giving you saline?
They do give saline.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, afterwards, right? So you get that they give you that flush.
The return.
Yes, the return.
Yeah. Yes.
So
I do get that.
So Allie gets saline. She gets it prior. Just to open up those, just to open up the veins and get that flush of great, hydration, and then her infusion. And in the plasma world, Allie, what they do is after you donate plasma, after your last return, you get a bag of saline returned to you, and that kind of helps with people feeling, fatigue afterwards or just a reaction. Because sometimes if you go right after work, you could be a little hungry. You could, the best advice is to go with like a full tummy, like at least that you've eaten something and that you've drank, enough fluid during the day. The best advice is to tell a donor 24 hours prior, make sure you stay away from fried foods. This is how strict it is. I mean, I could probably do it with my eyes closed because I've been so long. They literally tell you to, I could just recall being on the phone and saying, what you want to do is 24 hours before you come and donate, you want to make sure you stay away from fried foods. You want to make sure you start hydrating yourself, because that will make your donation the next day, because it's 24 hours. Whatever you ate 24 hours is what is going to come through those veins when you go donate. So the machines have like these filters, and you kind of like, it's a learning process too for the donor, because the donor gets to see the fat, the cells. Sometimes, the donor doesn't know. I didn't know either when we were when I was learning plasma, is that everything that you eat prior to 24 hours prior is actually what's going to be, what you're going to donate. And if you've had some fatty fried food, you're going to have a really hard time donating. That's how strict this plasma industry is. It literally tells you, watch what you eat, because they want the best plasma to come out. Isn't that crazy?
I did not know that. I didn't know that, Amy. I did not know that.
True. It is true. Yeah. My husband one day was turned away because he didn't know the night before, or maybe I think it was a couple of hours before, he had McDonald's. Not, he had McDonald's. Not a big deal. I think he had 2 cheeseburgers and some fries.
And wow.
That day, he could not donate because his plasma was cloudy. Yep. So then he had to wait, and he went back the next day, and then he learned. He said, "Oh, I guess I know I'm not supposed to eat like that so close to prior, when I go to donate."
Wow.
So that is 100% true.
Oh my
100%
gosh.
True.
So that just further confirms when I call it liquid gold, ladies. It is literally liquid gold. This just confirms your angel-like presence and the liquid gold. We just brought everything together.
I told you, it's so strict. If you have pizza the night before, if you have pizza or something cheesy, pasta, like a cheesy pasta, something, it literally will come out through your plasma. It'll come out like pink or just real cloudy. And you know what we do? We chuck it. We throw it out. We do not use it. That's how strict the industry is. Mm-hmm. And that just validates how much the industry really cares, not just for the donor's health, because we're teaching them, make sure you stay away from fried foods, make sure we literally tell the donors to watch what they eat, but we're also producing the best plasma. We're producing the best quality plasma to be able to go into that little bottle once every 3 weeks, and you can have your liquid gold.
That is unbelievable.
I knew. I could see your face because I could see your camera on, and you're like in total shock. Yeah, and you're such a diet person because you are big on your. You're so restricted on your diet. Little did you know, we restrict our donors on diet as well.
That is amazing. It's no wonder I feel this outer body connection with my angel donors. Oh, that explains everything.
What's funny is I have to watch what I eat anyway because I had weight loss surgery.
Oh my gosh, Sean. Okay.
Oh, wonderful, girl.
So, I lost 100 pounds.
You go, girl.
So I can't eat the stuff that I like to indulge sometimes, but I can't eat the way that I used to eat because I don't want to gain that 100 pounds.
Yeah.
So I'm mindful of what I eat anyway. But donating plasma just helps me, believe it or not, it helps me stay on track that much more because I'm like, okay, I know I can't eat this because it's just in my mind not to eat certain things. So it's like a perfect match for me because it kind of keeps me on point with what I'm supposed to eat and what I'm not supposed to eat.
Yeah, I get that. Wow, unbelievable. Okay, this is what a rewarding conversation.
I knew you were going to enjoy it. Oh my goodness. Okay, Ms. Shawn. So if you could, I know you don't tell a lot of people, but now everybody in the world is going to hear your voice. So if you could tell right now people that are listening, donors or potential people that are on the fence about donating, what is the message that you want to tell people out there?
Okay, sure. For those of you that are donating currently, like myself, please continue to do this because it is such a satisfying and rewarding experience, especially when you get to speak to Ali, and you get to speak to people, or you get to meet people that need this because of an illness. It's a rewarding experience. Why would you not want to continue doing this? For those of you that are on the fence, that are unsure, or you think, oh, something will happen to me, when you go to whatever center it is that you choose to go to, just know that you are screened properly. If they feel that there's something that you're not eligible or suitable to donate, then you won't. If they feel that you're eligible and you're able to do so, then why not have a win-win situation? You're helping somebody that needs the assistance, and you're also rewarding yourself with a financial reward, which everybody, let's face it, these days, everybody can use a little extra cash.
Absolutely.
So
that's powerful.
Why not
Thank
help
you.
somebody and also reward yourself at the same time?
That's right. That's right. So, Ali, what would be your message? I could see you thinking, so I could see you on the camera, so I know you're ready. So what would be your message out there?
Yes. Could you see the wheels churning? Because this has been for me, this has been super rewarding tonight, Sean. Amy, you're always lovely to talk to, but having Sean on tonight was, I've been looking forward to this. Let's see, it's Tuesday. It is the first half of the week, but I feel like I've waited my whole life for this conversation. So I was very...
Oh, I'm so glad. Anytime you guys need my help,
oh my gosh,
just let me know ahead of time. I'm more than willing to help.
So I just wanted to reiterate that because it's coming from my heart. So that's for you, Sean. And then the second half of my message, I guess it's dual parted. The first half would be to donors out there. So if other angels out there, such as Sean, are listening right now, please know that, as I said to Sean, you all have halos above your heads right now as I speak. Whether you know it or not, you are saving lives. You are giving people their life back. You are elevating their quality of life. You're giving them the strength to have a job. You're giving them the strength to have a family. You're giving them the strength to stay out of bed. You're giving them the strength to have a taste of normalcy. And for some of them, it may be the first time in their lives that they've felt somewhat normal, like they could maybe blend in for a day, which you can't even put words into any sort of sentence structure to properly describe the impact of that gift that you're giving by donating your plasma. So if you are a donor listening right now, I will say it again, you are an angel. Keep doing what you're doing. Please carry my voice with you when you go to donate again, and remember how many people's lives you are positively impacting every time you donate, and how many people's lives you are elevating when you donate. You don't realize it when you do it. You stay away from the fried foods, which I didn't know, but I know now. So when you turn down those French fries and that milkshake and those other greasy snacks to save someone's life, you're making sacrifices, and you're giving me my life back. You're giving me my relationship. You're giving me my 30-minute yoga class that I wouldn't have the strength or energy to complete before I was getting the liquid gold. You're giving me everything that I have in my life that goes beyond laying in bed. And I want you to repeat that to yourself next time you maybe reconsider donating that day. Say, no, that's right. Ali, on behalf of other liquid gold recipients, reminded me that my ways are of an angel, and I I'm doing a humongous thing with my actions. So I should go donate. And to anyone out there who receives the liquid gold, like me, please feel free to join us in our safe space. This is a warm and fuzzy space with knowledge sharing and feelings and angel people who come on, and you can express your appreciation like I have had the chance to do today myself. So if you're out there listening and you too receive liquid gold, hang in there. I hope you're having an okay day today. I hope your infusion went well. And just know that after speaking with Sean tonight, it is confirmed we have a whole team of angels looking out for us. So next time you doubt your protection while you're receiving this life-saving therapy, just remember there's a whole crew of angels out there who are working on our behalf to save our lives.
Oh my God. Okay, I can't. I have mascara. Nope. She got me. I knew I was going to cry today. I have tissue next to me. I knew it. Oh my God. What a great show. I think this is probably my favorite show.
Awesome.
Me too.
God. Well, thank you so much. We're almost at 45. So we did very well today. I thought we were going to stop at 30, but the conversation was great and the impact is great. And I think that, I think we're different after today. I think all three of us are totally different. This was a great show. And I'm so glad all three of us had an opportunity to have this conversation. And, Sean, I expect you to come back to the show. We have Allie is amazing. She has this vlog, and she has like all these wonderful recipes, and she does baking, and so she's gonna be sharing that on the show, other episodes. So I would love for you to come on, especially when we start recording, because I need to see you guys meet, like really meet. That would be great.
That would be great. Just let me know when. Let me know if I'm available. You know I will.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. We are not just sharing stories on Dear Warriors. Our goal is to help change lives. And when you share this podcast, you are helping to change lives too. Listen to this podcast on your favorite streaming platform. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, and God bless.